Brendan, how's the squad looking heading into this game tomorrow night?
Yeah, Nicholas is back. Dizan will give one more day too, and we'll see how he reacts. So, but yeah, no, good news. Nick back. Everyone else the same.
I'm sure it'll be a boost to have those two back if both of them are, but you showed at the weekend that you can have that versatility and play different ways.
Yeah, I think that it was really important at the weekend. Obviously, difficult conditions. I thought the players, especially when I watched the game back as well and analysed the game, I thought we played the game to a really high level technically and as quick as we probably could play on the surface. So I thought the squad did really well. If you think our efforts on goal, we near on 30 attempts at goal and shots at goal. So from that aspect of it, it was very good. But yeah, we rely on everyone. Of course, it's if you have one or two players out, then okay, you have to deal with that. But it really is a squad game for us, and the squad done really well at the weekend.
You pleased with Yang, Brendan? Yang, I thought it was a really good game. I thought it's hard to come in and out, but he was took his chances.
Yeah, I think it is a challenge for Yang in terms of the guys in front of him been doing so well. So he's had limited game time. What we see in him every day is that he works so hard at his game, and sometimes especially when you're an attacking player, when you don't play so much, there's always a chance that you come in and you try to force things. But for me, he gives his all. He gives everything. Yes, he needs to be more efficient. You know, attacking players have to be able to create goals and score goals, as well as do that pressing function that we want. But he gives absolutely everything. And he was unlucky. He had a great bit of skill that nearly made him a goal. The keeper makes a really good save. He makes a great run. For you see his desire to get into the position that leads to the penalty. So in terms of effort, he gives absolutely everything, and he did well at the weekend.
Is he one you think you can develop? I know you want to develop all the players, but given what you're talking about him there, is he someone you think you can get to the next level?
Well, that's just time and patience, and you know, to get anywhere as a player, that mentality also. So listen, we will always work and give our best to all the players. It's just what their talent and how that accelerates, you know, going forward. So, but he's a young guy who's adapted so well to coming over from Korea and speaking English now, translating with the players. It's a huge testament to him. He's a really good kid. And then, as I said, what we have to look at it. But at this moment in time, the player's out. He's coming in and working very hard.
What you said there, Brendan, about attacking players coming in and maybe try to force it, is that a similar thing for Idah maybe at the moment? And the kind of cliche is, I guess, the big man always needs a few games to get going. Do you sense he's getting that rhythm back after kind of having 2 or 3 starts in a row now?
Yeah, I thought again Adam did well at the weekend, yet he didn't get his goal. Yeah, I think some players, you know, they're better in rhythm and playing. But there's certain positions that you have to produce. That's the reality of it. But I was really pleased with his contribution. I'm one where I don't need my striker to score 40 goals a season. I really don't. If you look at any of my teams, the goals are always spread out. What I need is the players to be intense, to be aggressive. There's some great moments for him at the weekend. Yeah, he didn't get his goal, but he was there, made vital contributions, setting up the game for us, allowing other players to attack the space. And he's working very hard at him, and I just think it's one of the men's. It will drop form at some point, but if we're scoring 4 goals and your striker's not scoring, then you will take that.
Is that something you speak to him about as well? Because obviously strikers, they love scoring goals, don't they?
Mm-hmm. Nah.
Is it affecting him maybe, that kind of thing, or is it?
No, I don't believe so. Well, he's certainly. I think his own personal self and your own self pride. You want to score goals. You want, you know, as a striker, that's why you're there, to create goals, score goals. But for me, as long as I'm seeing the work rate and the intensity and the mentality, then I'm really happy with that. And knowing that it's the goal scoring burden doesn't go to one player; it has to go to the whole team. And as long as the team are working well, then that makes me happy. And for him, he's working really well. He's been unfortunate You know, he had one that he sort of near post, and he had a couple of other wee moments. But the goals will come from Adam. He's already shown that he can score goals.
He's a good player for this time of year as well. Give you different options, and like you say, sometimes the pitches aren't that great, and games are slightly different as well. You carry a few injuries. Is he a good option to have this time of year, especially?
Yeah, very good. I think he's a player that, like we've seen away at Atalanta, when you have to go in over the top of pressure, or whether it's a surface, but we'll still always try and play on a difficult surface. But it gives you that possibility. He's a really good reference for the team. He can still run in behind, and he's good in the box. So having that different type of striker is fantastic for us. And like we see with Kyogo at the weekend, like his movement for the first goal is wow. Just the number of runs he makes to make sure he stays onside, just the timing, the cleverness, and then obviously the finish. So to have strikers like that can give you different possibilities is very useful within your squad.
Is it something you might look to try more often, to try and play Kyogo and Adam in the same system together?
May do, may not. I think it just depends. I normally play with wingers. You know, it's how I've always sort of worked really. But Kyogo is, you know, he rolls inside very well, and that's the shape just morphs into a different structure. But yeah, it's something that we can do. I think it's having the flexibility. I've never said I'm not, and have never been fixed to one system. I have to one style. The style will always be the same, and the principles, but the actual system I've always been flexible with how the teams have played. So this gave us a nice little conundrum with the wingers short. Okay, so how can we make it work? And the players made it work really well.
Do you almost enjoy that side of it, Brendan, when you see a little conundrum, you need to think about things and how do we? Because it worked what you did on Saturday, and you enjoy that kind of element of thinking a wee bit and actually coming off.
Yeah, I think that's the beauty of it. I think that it's improvement, Robert. That constant improvement and development. That, you know, that gives you the enthusiasm for, right, okay, so we haven't got that, so how are we going to adapt? My first look is obviously for our younger players, is there someone young that can come into the position? If there's not, right, okay, we need to shape it slightly differently. So what can that look like? And that there I've done a few times in my career, a few different clubs, and you're relying also clearly on the players' intelligence and the football idea that they have. So, but in the main, that I thought it worked well for us, and that side of it clearly I enjoy.
I think in the lead up to this season, you'd earmarked Rocco Vata as maybe that young third choice striker to come in and develop. Is Johnny Kenny showing all the right signs after coming back from his loan spell that he could sort of occupy that role now?
Yeah, well, I was delighted for Johnny. Obviously, young players come in before, had to go away, and I hadn't seen him before, but coming back in and speaking to the guys, yeah, he looks a bit stronger than what he was before. The one thing what I love with young players is the enthusiasm. Because with enthusiasm, there's no expectation. They just come and play, and they come and run, and that's what he gave us when he came into the pitch. You know, sometimes the older players, and I would say the same thing to an older player, just as long as you maintain your enthusiasm for the game, then you know, you just go and play. And Johnny did that when he came into the game straight away. His contact, his touch of the ball was good. He was on the move. You know, the last goal, he's there or thereabouts, that creates the chaos in the box, and we finish well. So he's come in. He's only been in just over a week. We'll continue to monitor him. He'll be around it, and then it's the next decision. Then is he going to stay and be a part, or does he still need more game time on loan? So, but at this moment, I've been really pleased. Showed a wonderful, as I said, enthusiasm for football and to work, and he's done really well. And I can see 25 yards in, he's a really, really good finisher.
Brian, what have you made of Dundee this season? Had a good result last midweek.
Yeah, very good. It was. It's always going to be a difficult game when you go there. Probably not too dissimilar to our game at the weekend, where I think Tony's team will be tight and compact and low on the pitch, and then you have to then get to work to break them down. If you can do early, great. If not, then you have to keep the patience, and it may come like it did at the weekend late on. So, but yeah, I think Tony's done an outstanding job since he's been in there. Brought in some really good players. They all work, and you can see they all play for him. And obviously only a few points off that top 6. The last time out against Rangers, they produced a good result. So we know that we, like all the games, we have to really fight for the result.
Comes to transfer windows, obviously managers want to do the business early. Are you confident you'll be able to do what you want to do come the end of it? Yeah.
Well, we'll certainly try our very best. We want to improve the squad, absolutely. So, and there's a lot of work going on in order to do that.
Do you envisage many, Brendan, or do you think it'll be one? Or
I don't have a number. I'd love to give you a number, but I don't have a number, because that, we may want to, but it might not be possible. So, but we certainly want to add to the squad and give it a freshness, and it'll hopefully help us going forward.
Lewis Palmer's been linked again with a possible move away this January. Is he someone you maybe need to look at with his future, just given the fact that he's maybe not had as much game time as he would have wanted this season?
Yeah, he's a player that obviously I spoke to him just the other day, Louis, and he's a great guy. Everyone loves him here. We love him. He's a brilliant lad. Works hard every day, trains every day, and probably not getting the game time of what he would like. So, but again, we have to weigh everything up. Our first job is to look after our own squad, make sure that's ready, and by the end of this month set up for the challenges for the rest of the season. And then if that allows some players to go out, then that can and may still happen. But at this moment in time, he's here and a part of the squad.
Is he back? Was he back home for a few days? Is he back here now? Or is he?
No, he's back. He's here now. So it was just something that happened overnight, and I could see. I sensed with him the feeling, and then to sit on a coach 3.5 hours going up north probably wasn't going to be the best thing for him. So I just gave him the weekend, be with his family, and then reset again after the weekend. So he's come back in, and sad time for him, losing both grandparents so close. But he's ready to go again, and will be part of the squad tomorrow.
Brendan, you were praising Kyogo earlier, the movement for his first goal, scored a couple of goals. We spoke to you last week about that issue with MLS, which was then nipped in the bud. If at all aware of it, he clearly isn't fazed by any kind of speculation about his future.
Who's that, Kyogo?
Yeah.
Well, I think you can see he's. I can see on a daily basis. It's people will always look into something. He didn't celebrate enough, or he didn't do this, or he didn't do that. So I see him every day. I see his work. I see his intensity, and maybe he scores so much that he doesn't feel he has to celebrate madly all the time. Or maybe he was too cold. But no, he's just the same guy, So, but always speculation, and we're not scared of the speculation and the gossip. So there'll always be wee bits and pieces around him. But no, he's fine, and we'll travel tomorrow.
Obviously, you're kind of smiling about it, Brendan. But if something was to come in for him or other, are you and the club set for? Are you kind of prepared for that? Because it could be that a club comes in with a good offer for somebody like Kyogo. He's 28, 29. It might be a no-brainer to sell him by you. Would that be something that you could work with and allow it to happen, and be prepared for that to happen, and be able to kind of deal with it?
Yeah, all these what-if scenarios you have to be. I think the biggest thing is if a player doesn't want to be here, then go. And then it's at that point, then the club has to get the best possible deal. So I don't ever see the point of keeping someone who doesn't want to be here. But I think for us, it's all eventualities. That's what we prepare for, whether it's injuries, whether it's transfers. I think you just have to. You always have to be ready, and that's our message. And but for him at this moment in time, he's happy. He's working well, scoring goals, and enjoying his football.
Lunchtime kick-off at the weekend there, Dundee on Tuesday night, Saturday night 5:30 this weekend. From a fan's point of view, it's infuriating
Mm.
How does that affect players, managers? Do you time for the old days of 3 o'clock kick-offs on the Saturday and 7:30 on the Wednesday?
Well, sometimes you forget what day it is when you're in training and working so much. I think it's just being adaptive. I think 3 o'clock on the Saturday was the norm, wasn't it, for so many years. I think nowadays it's been adaptable, isn't it, to that. A lot of the game obviously based around telly and TV, which rightly or wrongly is all a part of it. So but yeah, I think there's and it's also why I go back to that possibility of the rest for not just, I'm not just talking players here, I'm talking about supporters, the travel, the expense. You know, it's an awful lot of money that people have to fork out, and we had a number of games there straight after Christmas, all at home.
And 5:30 on Saturday just bizarre.
Aye, well, for some it'll be a great kick-off time. You get to 5:30, you're absolutely rocking and rolling at that point. So for some it'll be...
That's just us.
that'll be good. Absolutely. Yeah. So, but no, I watched a game last night. I watched the Leipzig game and Werder Bremen game. They've had 3 weeks off. So they played their last game on the 20th of December and played the game. And it was the game of Ollie Burke. Young Ollie Burke scored in it for Werder Bremen. But you've seen the freshness in the game and the speed and the excitement and everything else. And our poor guys, all the teams, you know what I mean, having to get out there and aye, absolutely. And that's not what you want to produce for supporters, but we have to do it. So so 5:30, 12:30. Well, what I know is there'll always be Celtic supporters there, so it's okay.
I thought you were going to say 12:30, 5:30, half cut.
Okay, there you go.